Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Roxana again from Eutopian Lettings. Today I want to mention to you 5 inexpensive ways to improve your property so you can be able to charge more rent. And I want to start off with the color palette. I want to show you the trendiest colors right now. So here are some palettes, some pastel colors. So right now it's very trendy to paint your furniture and your kitchen cabinets one of the pastel colors, or you could choose a white or a gray to paint your walls and your floors and your kitchen as well. It's easier if you paint with a neutral color, and then you can get some furniture that has one of these colors. That's my suggestion, because once these stop being trendy, then you can just replace the furniture instead of having to repaint the whole house. Okay, so let's discuss now. The first tip that I want to give you is to update the light fixtures. So in the kitchen especially, if you can get some light fixtures that have very trendy colors, like the color of the fixtures right now would be a gold or a bronze color, or even black, as you can see in the picture. So this is kind of like a gold, this is a black. So if you choose one of those, that would be really good. And if you go to IKEA, for example, they have a few nice fixtures for your lights, but you have to see what style suits you. What style do you want to use when you furnish your property? I'm not saying you have to buy all the furniture. You can just decorate it by using a bit of paint in the kitchen. You can put some paint on the wall, some paintings on the wall, and then you can choose some trendy light fixtures, and then the tenants can bring their own furniture, because you do want to leave some things that they can choose themselves. Otherwise they will not feel at home. If you've made all the choices and everything is furnished and designed according to your taste, then they're not going to feel at home. But on the other hand, if they do a viewing and the property has nothing interesting about it, I don't think they would choose it. So I'm telling you this from my experience, and also from the experience of all the landlords that I've interviewed for my course and for my videos and everything that I've learned. Okay, so light fixtures are a very cheap way of updating the content of your kitchen, and not just your kitchen. This is an example of a kitchen, but you can do that in the bedroom as well, and in the hallway, especially in the entrance. The entrance is like the first feel that someone has when they walk in the house. So if you update those fixtures, then you can, and it depends on what style you like. Maybe you like something like this, like a modern black, or you could choose something that looks a little more like bohemian, which means that you would choose very neutral colors and natural ones. So you could choose something more close to nature, like some straw fixtures, or some fixtures made of fabric, or something like that. Those don't look expensive. They look like you have good taste, but they don't necessarily look expensive. But if you choose the IKEA ones and you put some spray paint on them, even if you have an older one and you spray paint it with gold or with like a brass color, that would still make a very big difference. Okay, now the second tip I have for you is to update your kitchen cabinets and the hardware as well. So for updating your kitchen cabinets, I mean, you can put some stickers on them, or even better is if you can paint them. And I would suggest you to go with either a white or a gray paint, because anything else, if it's not going to be trendy next year, then you're going to have to paint them again, or in 2 or 3 years, and you don't want to do that, because it is a lot of work. It's cheap, but it's a lot of work. So I would say go get some chalk paint, because the chalk paint is really good because it dries fast and it doesn't leave the brush strokes. You can't see that. Or if you use the spray painter as well, that makes it look really professional. You just have to cover the areas. Like here, for example, in this kitchen, you would have to cover this with a bag or something so you can spray paint everything else. Okay, so you paint them with white or gray. And then I would like you to look at updating the hardware. So you can either take the hardware you have and you can take that off and spray paint it as well, or you can just buy a new one. But I want you to look at how they're matching as well. So if you see here, see, this is with black, so you want to have the light fixtures matching the hardware, and here they even match this. See, so they match the hardware from the sink as well, the water fixtures. So you have to keep that in mind. You need like congruency, and you need repetition to make it look like it's a high-end design. You don't just throw up a bunch of trendy things that don't match each other, because that's not gonna work. Also, you can't combine a lot of colors. So I will explain to you in a minute what I mean by that. Okay, so the third tip is to update your tiles and walls using peel and stick. I would also say you can update them by painting them. So if you have very old tiles, it depends on the area, it's either best to do peel and stick or to paint. So for example, if it's the bathroom floor, I'm not sure how resistant the peel and stick would be, so maybe it's better if you go with some paint and you paint it like a neutral color, one of the colors that I showed you here. So maybe you want to paint this color, which is like a light gray, because with white it's going to be very sensitive. Anytime someone drops a hair, it's going to be visible, and it's really annoying and it looks really dirty. Okay, if you have tiles in the kitchen, you could definitely use the peel and stick. If they're on a wall, it's going to be really easy, because they're not going to wear and tear really fast. As I said, on the floor, I would suggest you to paint, and you could do peel and stick on cupboards and kitchen countertops. So the best thing to do when you have countertops they're still in good shape but they look outdated, is to put a peel and stick, because that can make a huge difference. That can make it look really, really nice. And also, if you feel like the room is a bit boring and you want to have an accent wall, you can do wallpaper, which is also peel and stick. I would recommend that more for tenants. If the tenant wants to give a vibe to the room and make it feel cozy and according to their style, the wallpaper, the peel and stick wallpaper, is a good option, because they don't have to repaint, and it's really easy to remove it and return the property the way it was. But as a landlord, if you want, you can do that as well. You can make it look more modern. But I would suggest you to choose something with the white and gray, maybe a pattern with white and gray, not something too shiny. So if you choose something like this, for example, it's a beautiful one, but you need to have very simple furniture that matches these color palettes, or just very neutral, like a white or a cream or something really, really natural. And the tenants might not like it, because it makes a statement, you know. And maybe you don't want to really make a statement in a house that you're going to rent. You want to give them the freedom to paint it or decorate it in their own style, but still make it look modern. Okay, and here are a few things you could do. Let's just hide this. This fourth tip is about using carpets to define areas. So if you look at the carpet in this photo, this looks a little bit older, and it still looks amazing. So this is the focus point of this room. If you walk in this room, the first thing you're going to look at is the carpet. But something that you also see, and you probably don't notice if you're not familiar with the way to design a room and the furniture, is the fact that if you choose something like this, like a piece of statement like that, you have to get some other things. Everything else around it has to be neutral or similar. So for example, the furniture here looks good if it's neutral, or you could have chosen one of the colors from the carpet to have it. So if you had a red chair on this carpet, it would have looked fine as well, but maybe it would have been a bit too much red. So as you can see, if you choose a strong color for the carpet, or a pattern or anything like that, then you have to come up with something neutral around it. You have to be careful with the cushions, so they are not too colorful and they don't look exactly the opposite of these colors here. So you have to look at them and see how they come together, because you might have a lot of items that look beautiful separately, but together they are not forming a cohesive look for a room. Okay, and here is another example of a very trendy pattern for a carpet. It looks really cute. You could do this, so this is blue and white, so you could have this carpet, if it's a really big piece, you can have it defining an area. So you can define an area with the carpet. You don't necessarily need a strong looking carpet. You can use something boring. You can have a carpet that looks just like the piece of furniture that I showed you. So you can have a carpet that looks very neutral, but it still defines the area. So for example, if you want to define the sleeping area, you could have a boring carpet that defines the area, and then you have your bed on top of it, and then on the bed maybe you want to have a duvet that is more colorful if the carpet is a neutral color. So you have to choose one area where you play with the colors, or maybe you want to have a painting above the bed that is more colorful if the carpet is a neutral color, and if the bed is a neutral color and the bedding as well, then you can have some color on the painting. So it's up to you. Okay, and in the dining room you can define the dining area with a carpet. You can put the little chairs on the table and you can put them on the carpet. So that's how you show that that's where the area for eating is. And then the same goes with the area for sitting. So you can have a carpet around your sofa and your coffee table next to the sofa, and that works as well. And one last tip from me before I go is paint and repurpose old furniture. So by paint and repurpose, I mean you can either paint your furniture and just have it there, keep it in the same place, just update the color by doing one of the colors that I showed you as a palette, or you could repurpose it. So for example, some crazy people did in their Airbnbs, they actually took a sewing machine table and they used it as a kitchen sink, as a support for the kitchen sink, or they used a chest of drawers like this as a support for the bathroom sink. And those things are pretty crazy, but sometimes they look amazing. So you just have to try it out and see what it looks like. In an Airbnb, it works even better because it's a statement piece and it makes the place look different and interesting. And even if the guests are not crazy about it, they can just think, okay, I'm just going to try it for 2 or 3 days when I'm going to stay there, and then if I don't like it, it's fine, and if I like it, maybe I'll do that in my house. So you know, it's a nice trial, but you don't have to do it in your rental property unless you want to. Okay, so those were my 5 tips, and here, if you want to paint it, I would suggest you to use as well the chalk paint, because it's really easy to paint and it's not messy, and you don't see the brush strokes, and it dries really fast, and then you just have to spray a sealer on top of that and you're done. Okay, and what else? Yes, that's it. And then if you want more tips, have a look at the description. I will leave a link to my website where you can download a PDF with 17 tips to increase the value of your home and to charge more rent. Okay, but that's it for today and for this video. If you have some more tips, anything you've tried in your house and it looked amazing and it attracted tenants, feel free to share with us. Okay, just write it in the comment section and I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.